guys, today my channel is standing up for truth, justice, and accountability. I am featuring the work of Cache Valley Transparency, Innocent Auditor, and James Freeman. The Logan Police Department in Logan, Utah is failing miserably at the only thing they took an oath to, the oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, starting with number 1, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, the right to assemble, and the right to petition the government for redress of grievances. And remember, guys, I'm not a bootlicker, I'm a camera licker.
He's edited some video.
Imagine being in a place of power and authority in government and believing that you have the right to have news stories removed and scrubbed from the internet because you personally don't agree with them. Well, that's exactly what you're hearing North Korea's Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un tell me over the phone. Oh wait, no, that's Lieutenant Randall with the Logan, Utah Police Department telling me that over the phone.
Because he has posted stuff on YouTube that are a little one-sided, that don't sort of show the whole. He's edited some video.
Today is day 4 of exposing the Logan Police Department. And today we find out where they actually got the idea to try to have news stories scrubbed from the internet when they don't agree with them.
The word had gotten around through the department, from the sheriff's department, that if you feel that your image and likeness is being portrayed in violation of the YouTube privacy rules, because he has posted stuff on YouTube that are a little one-sided, that don't sort of show the whole. He's edited some video that you can call and ask YouTube to look at it to see if it meets the YouTube's criteria.
So as you can see, from the beginning, this was never about officers being concerned about their private information, such as bank account numbers, social security numbers, and home addresses being put out on the internet, because that never happened. Because Cache Valley Transparency never put anything about these officers on the internet that they didn't put up themselves, including their faces, names, ranks, even information about their careers. All of the pictures that Cache Valley used to identify specific officers came directly from the Logan Police Department Facebook page, with images and names. What officers were upset about is a, quote, one-sided story. In other words, they didn't agree with the narrative. You see, Logan Police Department has never previously had a problem with media outlets posting stories about them, including their names and photographs, as long as the story painted them in a favorable light. And one might argue that, well, maybe this news outlet got the government's permission to use their names and photographs. Fair enough. That's what we call government-controlled media. Truly free press would never ask government for permission to publish a story about them.
Because he has posted stuff on YouTube that are a little one-sided, that don't sort of show the whole. He's edited some video, and so one of our officers did, and so it sort of just went like wildfire. And certainly I haven't asked for any of my videos to be taken down. I got nothing to hide. However, we don't have a policy, and we're not going to tell our officers what they can and cannot do about a YouTube video.
So Lieutenant Randall claims that the department has no specific policy preventing officers from using the force of the state to restrict free press. So they realize and recognize that you have a right to record them, and that for them to try to stop you from doing so would be a violation of the right to free press. But at some point they have a disconnect and fail to realize that you also have a right to publish the video and story, and that for them to interfere with that is just as bad as if they were to snatch the camera out of your hands in the first place when they saw you on site. Okay, so this came down from the sheriff's department.
No, not from the sheriff's department. There was a sheriff's deputy who mentioned that this is what officers could do.
Okay, and what's the name of that deputy?
I have no idea.
What sheriff's department was he with?
Cache County.
And when we know now that the idea to shut down free press in Logan, Utah actually came from the Cache County Sheriff's Department, it explains what happened a few days ago, May 14th, 2022. After all the attention that was being given to Logan Police Department, Cache County Sheriff decided that they weren't getting the attention they deserved, and so they arrested Cache County Transparency on a public easement, recording them. This happened this weekend, after the first 3 videos exposing Logan Police Department for violating free press were published. Cache County Sheriff's Department Sergeant Olson stole Cache Valley Transparency's phone. Therefore, we don't have his footage of the incident, only his story. He claims that he was recording the sheriff's deputies from the public easement on the side of the road. There was no sidewalk present. The alleged incident and investigation was taking place at a residence on private property, which Cache Valley never even attempted to enter. Cache Valley Transparency did notice that in the front passenger seat of one of the sheriff's vehicles, there appeared to be an underage kid. With all the human trafficking going on in the area, Cache Valley Transparency attempted to get a video shot of the individual in the car, so that if it did turn out later that that individual was either missing or being trafficked, we would have video evidence that he was in the front seat of that deputy's car. Cache Valley says that Sergeant Olson told him to get away from the car or he'd be arrested for interference, for trying to record the individual in the passenger seat. Cache Valley claims that as he walked away from the vehicle to avoid arrest, Sergeant Olson was already too triggered to let it go and ran up behind him, grabbed his arm, and placed him under arrest. Sergeant Olson then stole the cell phone with the recording of what happened. The cell phone wasn't stolen to be used as evidence. After all, Sergeant Olson had his own body camera on, and that video could have been used if they really wanted to charge this guy with a crime. The cell phone was only stolen to prevent the newsworthy incident from being published. For standing on a public easement recording police activity, Cache County Sheriff arrested someone and charged them with interfering with an arrest as well as resisting arrest. Of course, we don't have actual video of the incident, and that's just the way the Sheriff's Department likes it. How are we supposed to say what did or didn't happen when there's no video? But Cache Valley had every intention of uploading that video. The only reason it's not uploaded is because the Sheriff's Department stole the footage and refuses to release their own footage of the incident. This is a perfect black and white example of how governments use force and violence to control media narratives. We expect this from North Korea. We expect it from China. But did you know that this happens every day in the U.S.? The following audio clip is a phone conversation between myself and Sergeant Openshaw with the Cache County Sheriff's Department. While I know the audience will understand what I'm doing here, I have to articulate for the YouTube bots that I do not support the initiation of violence against peaceful people ever for any reason. But I definitely got Sergeant Openshaw to laugh about me talking about hurting innocent people. I've seen this guy on YouTube recently in the area, and
Yeah.
What do you guys know about that guy? It seems like he's just trashing cops. What's going on with that?
So he's what they call like a First Amendment auditor. So he likes to go out and videotape cops and make sure we're not violating people's civil rights, which is fine. They're allowed to videotape as long as they're not interfering with what we're trying to do.
Okay.
So
it seems kind of annoying. That's all. I guess it's legal, though?
Definitely annoying. It's legal, but it's definitely annoying. It becomes a problem, like I said, if he's getting into our crime scene or interfering in some way. Then he actually did that the other day and interfered and walked into our scene, and so he got himself arrested.
What did he do to interfere?
That happens.
Was he messing with evidence on your scene or something again? Or I'm like, man, what if I'm on a ride along with these guys and this guy is recording me too? Like, can he record me too if I'm out there with you guys?
Yeah. I mean, it's like
that's not interference.
He could stand on a street corner and videotape anybody he wanted to because he's out in the public, and there's no expectation of privacy when you're out in the public.
So you can't you can't just call it interference and arrest him for me if he's recording me if I'm out with you guys.
No. Nope.
At what point does he cross that line then? I thought that just being there, would constitute interference because it's annoying. So at what point does it cross the line from, legal to interference?
Yeah, so unfortunately just being annoying isn't going to constitute interfering. Interfering would be more if if he, what's a good example? So, like, if I'm trying to effect an arrest and he's yelling and hollering, or maybe he's coming up and getting really close where I don't feel safe anymore, that's going to be interfering. If I say, hey, you need to stay on this side of the street, you can't come over to this area, and he does it anyway, that's going to be interfering. So those kinds of things where he's failing to comply with a police officer's command to do something, or he's violating that safe distance, or just something where, and he comes up and he's getting too close. I say, hey man, you need to stay back. And he's like, F you, I can do whatever. I'm going to come up here and get as close as I want. He moves even closer. That's going to be a problem.
All right. Well, I guess
if that makes sense. So he's got to be actively doing something to interfere, not just standing down on the street corner videotaping, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
It would be nice if it was different, but yeah, that's how it is. It would be nice if it was different, but yeah, that's how it is.
I mean, I suppose it does. I mean, this in our favor. It does sound like it's somewhat arbitrary, and all we have to do is say, "Hey, man, I want you to go over there," and if he doesn't, then we get to arrest him, right?
Yeah, it has to be reasonable too. But
okay, where do those reasonable standards come from? Is it in legislation, or is it kind of just whatever the officer feels like?
Yeah, just whatever would be reasonable to most people, really, and stuff that I can articulate as far as like our safety and things like that. Yeah, and it's a lot easier to do stuff when you've got all the citizens backing you too.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's definitely nice.
That's what I'm saying. Just tase him, dude. I don't think that I mean, let's think about it. In your area, say you tase the guy in the back for no reason at all. It's gonna go to a jury, right? What kind of jury in your area is going to say that cop did wrong, right?
You never know nowadays. There's some crazy stuff going on in courts and juries and stuff, so I don't know.
Well, I'll try it. I'll go on a ride along, I'll kick him in the dick, and we'll see if a jury thinks I did wrong.
Right. Yeah, so it's
LoganPD. Logan Police Department, Logan, Utah. They have stepped in some doo-doo. They're violating some very, very basic rules with the media and our right to press. It's kind of shocking. Cache Valley's doing a great job. He's out there a lot and putting in the work, and they're getting scared. I think he's getting close to something, and they're definitely retaliating. They charged him with stalking and interference on a cop watch. It's a normal cop watch. Stalking and interference. Crazy. Logan PD, not good, man. So make sure you go over to Cache Valley Transparency's channel and like James Freeman said, mirror his cop watches and the things he does on YouTube, because they're also doing privacy complaints, and they're getting his videos taken down, which is also just the whole thing is crazy. Logan PD is just like, they're crazy. They're not they're stupid. So as a fellow Utahn, I'm proud of Cache Valley for stepping up and recording the police, and I wish I didn't have to see all this craziness go on, but this is the point. We find these departments that are just blatantly not doing good. So head over to his channel. Make sure you check out James Freeman too. Here's the video.
Hey everybody, it's James Freeman. Today is day 2 out of 10 of exposing Logan, Utah Police Department for fighting against transparency using false claims to private companies as well as false criminal charges. Members of the Logan Police Department are attempting to have every single video of them scrubbed from the internet, which is why we're asking everyone watching this to please mirror it on your YouTube channel or any other social media platform that you can. On day 2, we show Corporal Olson refusing to show his ID badge as his own department policy requires, and then go into the complaint that's filed with the department for the policy violation. I will say that I believe that most of these policies are absolutely arbitrary, ridiculous, and petty. But they are their policies, not ours. As I've shown over the years on my channel, government makes all kinds of rules. They call them legislation, codes, statutes, laws, and then they refuse to obey them. Then they make their own policies within their departments, which often violate the law. And then they even refuse to obey their own policies. For the record, I think it's ridiculous that every officer should have to provide an ID card to every jackass that walks up and demands it. But on that note, I'd also like to take a line out of their book. I don't make the rules. I just enforce them. Stay tuned because you guys won't believe what this department does in response to someone filing a complaint about an officer violating their own policy.
Got your ID card on you?
My ID card?
Yep.
I don't need to have it on me.
Yeah, you do. It's part of your policy.
Is it?
Yep. Anytime a citizen asks for your ID card, you're supposed to show it to them.
Okay, well, that's not going to happen tonight.
That's not going to happen tonight?
Nope.
What's your name?
I've already told you who I am.
What's your name?
Randy, I already told you who
What's
I am.
your name?
I'm Officer Olson.
What's your first name?
It doesn't matter.
Sure does, because I'm going to file a complaint on you for not having your ID card on you like you're supposed to.
Okay.
I can show it to you in your policy, man.
Okay.
I've read all 536 pages of your policy.
That sounds pretty boring.
Yeah, because you obviously haven't read it.
I've read every bit of it.
It doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like it, man.
Okay.
You don't have your ID card.
I have my ID card on me, and I'm not showing it to you.
You're not going to show it to me?
I don't need to.
Okay. Perfect. I'm glad you just said that. On camera.
Okay.
So that'll be good for your lieutenants and stuff to look at.
All right, that'll be fine.
And you'll have a policy violation on your record now.
That'll be just fine.
Perfect.
You know how to file a complaint, so...
I sure do, man. Is there a lieutenant I can hand this to and get a copy of it, please?
Yes, one moment.
All right. What are we doing today? Pretty good, man. Do you have your ID card on you?
I don't have it with me. No.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
It's actually being redone. How's that? Went through the wash.
Went through the wash? All right.
Thank you.
I just want a copy of it, please.
You want a copy?
Yes, please. What you guys got going on here today?
I'm sorry, what?
You got the dedication for the new library going on today?
Yeah, I think it's around 11 o'clock.
Okay.
So the complaint was filed on Corporal Olson for violating policy 1046.2.1 that says that he's supposed to show a department-issued ID when asked for it by a citizen. But rather than finding that Corporal Olson's actions didn't meet policy, they changed the policy to meet Corporal Olson's actions. 3 days later, on the department's official website, the policy was changed, and Corporal Olson was found to have done nothing wrong. Now again, I can't stress enough how petty and ridiculous I think this issue actually is, but it's a perfect representation of the way that government typically works. There's all kinds of silly and ridiculous rules for you and I to obey, and if we don't, we get punished with fines and or loss of liberty. But people who call themselves government have a history of making themselves unaccountable to their own rules. I also want to point out the fact that I never would have covered this video on my channel if it weren't for the fact that the Logan Police Department is trying to have this video scrubbed from the internet. That is why I'm inviting anyone and everyone with the ability to download this video and re-upload it to your own YouTube channel or any other social media platforms you may have. I feel that it's important that no matter how big or small, or even how petty the story, that we do not allow government to infringe on the First Amendment by trying to have stories that they don't like taken down. If you have any questions or concerns about the Logan Police Department and or its representatives infringing on free press, contact information is in the description below.
Logan City Police Department.
Hey, how you doing this afternoon?
Getting old and gray. What can I do for you?
Are you getting a lot of calls today?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Are you guys changing bad behavior yet, or?
Changing what behavior?
The bad behavior of making false privacy claims.
Well, I'll tell you what. When individuals call anonymously and start calling us foul names and using foul language, we don't have to put up with that. And none of these individuals are here being videotaped and put on an international forum either.
Okay.
So unless they are agreeing to, unless they want to be put on an international forum also, we have the same rights as they do.
Right, and it appears that you fail to understand those rights. You have no right to privacy, ma'am. Just listen. You got no right to privacy.
You know how many individuals I have listened? Quote, I'm done.
Oh, okay, so you're
sorry.
I hope you understand. This is James. I'm the one who's going to keep reposting and giving and helping you understand the Streisand effect. You're either going to learn or you're not. But we are going to keep legally, lawfully publishing stories about your bad behavior.
Logan City, please.
Hey, I think I already spoke to you just a moment ago. Is that right?
Nope, I didn't talk to you.
Oh, okay. Are you guys getting a lot of calls today?
We sure are.
Okay. Are we fixing the bad behavior?
Yep, we're on it.
Okay. So you guys are going to stop trying to fight against transparency. Is that right?
As far as I know, yes. We are going to also do all the things to make everybody happy.
Okay. Within the law, legally, lawfully, you're gonna stop fighting transparency, you mean, right?
Well, we're going to have our rights and respect the rights of others.
Excellent. So you'll stop expecting privacy in a public place. Is that correct?
Have a good day.
Okay.
Logan City Police, Lieutenant Randall.
Hey, Lieutenant Randall, it's James. I spoke to you yesterday.
Hey, James, what's going on?
Oh, same old, man. I'm tired of this.
Oh.
I'm tired of this one. I want to move on to the next one.
Oh, of course, there's always the next one, right?
There is. Then there's like I said yesterday, usually there's a lot worse than you guys, but right now Logan Police Department is #1 in the nation. What are we doing?
Cool.
No, sir, it's not cool. It's an embarrassment. What are you going to do about it?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
So I took your information. To the city attorney yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
About I don't know what time we got done talking.
Okay.
And he is contacting. I don't know our insurance carriers. That makes sense. Those Logan City has insurance. We have a large deductible, but we do have insurance. And our insurance carrier is nothing but a bunch of lawyers. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And they're researching what you're assuming, and hopefully we'll have some direction by the end of today or tomorrow on what you're saying.
Sure.
So that's what we're doing.
Okay. All right. Are people in the department still filing these false privacy complaints or no?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. It would be appreciated if you decide to share this video, if you would put a link to Cache Valley Transparency, the original creator of all of these videos. Many of the original videos can't be found on his channel anymore because of the retaliatory action of Logan Police. He does, however, make regular updates on his channel that you can keep up with. And as far as the videos that may get deleted, as you can see, they're going to continue to be reposted on dozens of channels and other platforms all over the internet. Thank you so much to every single one of you out there who is helping to fight for transparency and truly free press.
So make sure you go over to Cache Valley Transparency's channel and like James Freeman said, mirror his cop watches and the things he does on YouTube, because they're also doing privacy complaints and they're getting his videos taken down, which is also just the whole thing is crazy. LoganPD is just like, they're crazy. They're not they're stupid. So, as a fellow Utahn, I'm proud of Cache Valley for stepping up and recording the police. And man, I wish I didn't have to see all this craziness go on, but this is the point. We find these departments that are just blatantly not doing good. So head over to his channel. Make sure you check out James Freeman too.
That's not gonna happen. This video.
help you?
I'm here to pick up my records request.
Did they call you and say it was ready?
Yep. Christy did.
Years later.
So who called you?
I got an email from Christy. Yesterday. She emailed me yesterday.
Yesterday?
It's on my phone. I'm not going to stop recording you guys.
Can you forward it to me?
No, he can't forward it to you. Do your own stinking job.
So she's.
I'm
You have to pay your $5.
Yeah, I know.
Can you come take his money? Okay.
Looks like you'll be doing the penny counting of shame.
You have a roller? Okay, cut him into dollars.
Again, sir, he's not doing your job for you. Get to counting,
Put
buddy.
them in separate piles, and then we'll take your money.
There's my $5.
We're not taking it like that.
Sure you are.
No, it's not.
Yep. I can pay you any way that I want to pay you.
Okay,
And that's how you're taking it.
So you can.
That's how you're taking
put
it.
them in piles of dollars.
I want my records request now. I have paid you your money.
You're not getting it like that.
Wanna bet, ignorant piece of piggy poo?
So they're refusing to give me my records request when the money is sitting right there for them. Refusing.
Six hours later.
Can I speak to Lieutenant Parslow? Or are you guys actually going to take my money?
Yeah, we're taking your money,
Good.
but I gotta count it.
That's fine. I'll be here, man.
Like I said, buddy, get to counting. I want to take this time to remind everybody that all they have to do is follow the law. Well, at least we know they can count it to 10 or 9. You'll see later.
I shouldn't even be charged for this. Records requests have to do with yourself. Should not be charged. That's in the Utah code.
You get them all?
Looks like it. I don't see any in there.
You're 1 penny short, boss.
Nope.
Hi. I just want to request a police record. Okay. Okay.
Thank you. S-O-N. Randy with a Y.
What did I do now?
What?
I said, what did I do now?
No, she's writing your receipt.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Here's your receipt. Here's your request.
Awesome.
Good day.
Thanks, Lieutenant. There's my receipt. There's my request.
These interactions that you have had with this member of the public are supposed to be conducted with courtesy and professionalism. Instead, you are operating in a Pignorant Piggy Poo sort of way. Do better, buddies.